tour in Trier. First to Trier, because we had to go a little bit on the highway to come to Trier, but only 5-10 minutes. And then we are directly in the city center. In the city center, we will go with the bus around the center and then on top of the hill. Then we will have a beautiful view. The rain stopped, so I hope it remained in this way. And then... Yes, and on top of the hill, a short stop, drop off the bus for a few minutes, a beautiful view over the city center of Trier. Then down back to the city center, and in the city center we will start a walking tour, and there we will see a lot of interesting Roman remains, Roman structure, a little bit medieval time, a little bit from the modern city. So a lot to see in the city center. At the end we end at the Porta Nigra, the Black Gate, the famous landmark of Trier, and that's about 11:15. And then you will have half an hour free time and meeting time then with your tour manager will be at the same spot I leave you, so 11:45, 11:45, and then the buses will bring you back to the ship. That's what we do this morning. Yes, and when you look here around, we are at a very nice spot here along the river. You will see in the afternoon more of the typical part of the river, where we have a lot of curves and bends, very steep slopes, vineyards along the river. But here in this area we have more a wider valley, and that's the reason why the city of Trier is located in this wide valley. The city of Trier is called the oldest city of Germany, founded 17 BC. So the city is more than 2,000 years old. The first who came to this area was Julius Caesar. He conquered this territory in the middle of the 1st century BC. And all what we know under the name Luxembourg, Belgium, the Netherlands, 2/3 of France and the western part of Germany was conquered by Julius Caesar, and since the middle of the 1st century BC it is a part of the Roman Empire. The new border was in this time along the Rhine, so the cities, Mainz, Cologne and Koblenz, they are in those times military camps. A lot of soldiers were stationed there, and these soldiers, they need goods, grain, textile, food, yes, and a lot of wine. Sure, a lot of wine. And so Trier is in those times established as a trading city for the supplies of the military camps. That's the reason why they built Trier here at this spot. It's the first place when you come from the Rhine where you have enough space to establish a large city. And that they do in 17 BC. The name of the city in those times was Augusta Treverorum, so not built under Caesar, Julius Caesar. It was built under the Rhine of Augustus. The city, the name Augusta Treverorum, that means Treverorum. That's the name of the Celtic tribe who settled here in former times, the Celtic tribe of the Treveries, which was conquered then by Julius Caesar, therefore the name. Treveries, Augusta Treverorum, that became shortened in the passage of the time, Treveries, Trier, nowadays. So it comes from this old Roman Celtic tribe. Yes, and then the city developed very, very quick to an important trading city. At the beginning of the 2nd century, it became the capital city of the province Gallica Belgica. In those times it was called Gaul, and a lot of administration was established, and they built a bath, they built a large city wall around the city, they built an amphitheater, so it became a wealthy, important, large city, middle of the 2nd century. But then at the end of the 3rd century it became more important because it was elevated to an imperial city. imperial city, that means it is a seat of the emperor for the next 100 years, the emperor of the Western Roman Empire. And the seat, that means they have residence, they have a throne hall, and the next 100 years, 10 emperors ruled from Trier, the Western Roman Empire. The most important and the most known one is surely Constantine. He started his reign in Trier, and also his sons ruled from Trier, Emperor Valentinian the first and also the second Emperor Gratian. They all ruled from Trier. So up to the end of the 4th, beginning 5th century, Trier is a very important city, one of the most important spots in the whole Roman Empire. We have an inscription from Rome. There Trier is called the 4th important city. First Rome, Alexandria, Constantinople, and then Trier. So important it is. The population in those times, 60 to 80,000 inhabitants. But all this importance, and when the Germanic tribes who are living at the other side of the Rhine, behind the borders, when they became powerful and so they overrun the borders, penetrate deep in the hinterland, and 4 or 5 times Trier was destroyed by these tribes, by the Germanic tribes, and at the end it fell in the hand of the Franks. We became Frankish. Dangerous for the Romans, they left this area, went back down to Milan and to Arles, and for us here it is so the bad Middle Ages starts. And the only man who prevented the city from the total decline was the bishop. The bishop took over the properties of the Roman, the organization, the administration, and it developed during the early Middle Ages and developed a church state dominated by the church institutions, and that is so for the whole Middle Ages. Abbeys, convents, monasteries were built in the city center. The bishop became an archbishop, the bishop became a prince elector. That means he is a ruler of the large important church state. And that is so up to the time when the French Revolution starts in Paris. You came from Paris. You have heard about the French Revolution, and Paris is not so far away from this region here. And so we were directly conquered by the revolution troops. And for 20 years we are part of France, so we are integrated in the French Empire and the so-called capital city of the Sarre department. 20 years, in those times the church state is dissolved, the properties of the churches were nationalized, divided, sold, and that is for about 20 years. But then by the Congress of Vienna, after the downfall of Napoleon, we were integrated in the Prussian Empire. So the Berliners are coming here to this area. From Berlin, they ruled also this area here, the part of the Prussian Rhine provinces. And that is so for the next 100 years. World War I and World War II, we also, in fact, yesterday you have heard about the battles of the Bulge. You have been on the cemetery? Yes. And also Trier is, in fact, in this context, end of December 1944, the 23rd December, the attacks from the Air Force starts here for Trier, and within 10 days 1/3 of the city center was destroyed. The reason why they attacked Trier was in those times really easy. We have in the east of the city a large railway station with a large material depot for the German army.